Hi, I'm Chuck with Fish Fighter Products. Today I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about our Columbia River Edition anchors. We offer these anchors in two different styles, fixed version and also in a folding version. We also offer these anchors in 4 different weight categories from 16 pounds to 40 pounds. And that's typically going to be able to anchor boats up to about 30 foot in length. You know, a lot of people come up to me as we're attending trade shows and they say, you know, what's the big deal about your anchors? I had a guy the other day tell me, hey, I use a small block Chevy cylinder head and it works just fine. And you know, for some people it might just work fine. But for me and the people that I fish with, everything that we're doing is about precision anchoring. And that's being able to precisely locate your boat where the fish are. I got very frustrated going out with fishing guides on the Columbia River or up in Hell's Canyon and other rivers in Alaska and watching them struggle with getting their boat to anchor. You know, anchoring it's been around for thousands of years, but it hasn't really been perfected down to a science. And when I go out fishing, I wanted to be able to put my boat time after time on the fish without fail, which led us to designing the Fish Fighter Columbia River Edition anchors. And what really sets our anchor apart is our patent pending anchor fluke design. And as you can see, when you look at this, it's a completely different design than any other anchor out there on the market. And some of the things that's made this thing so successful is some of the features that we built into the flukes, like these serrations right here, which we call grousers. If you look at any earth-moving equipment, everything out there is going to have either teeth on it or some sort of a grouser on it, so that when the bucket or the anchor is trying to penetrate down into the ground, it's not only knifing through it, it's serrating through it. So it's sawing through the material as it goes into the ground. And I can tell you now, with full confidence, this thing is incredible when you go out there and put it in a river and observe how fast this thing will penetrate into the ground. Another big feature about ours is this hole in the center, and it serves 2 purposes. The first purpose is as you're dragging down a river that has a gravel bottom in it with some larger boulders in it, you have a high potential, if there's just a little bit of a tip of a rock sticking out, that it'll go into this hole and hang the anchor up so you can get a quick, fast bite that way. Another big feature of this is that it's kind of a self-burying design. And by that, with this hole in it, as you're penetrating into sand or you're penetrating into gravel bottoms, the gravel and the sand will ooze in and around these holes, and it just helps to quickly bring material around this and surround it and self-bury it and pack the anchor down into the ground really quick. You know, a lot of people out there have been using 6-8 foot of chain, and we don't even recommend that on our anchor because it just holds so fast and so quickly. Another neat feature about our anchor flukes is if you look at this slot right here, the reason that's there is we've designed the Fish Fighter anchor spade. And as you can see, it's shaped just like the spade of a shovel. We've got a really sharp point right here, and we've also installed serrations on it. And if you're fishing in a river like the Rogue River, maybe that has either a clay bottom or some pea gravel where it's really hard to get your anchor to hold, you can just quickly install these optional anchor spades. They're very easy to install. You just put them on here and bolt them on. And I can assure you without a doubt that if you get 4 of these anchor spades on your anchor, there's just about no place on earth that you can't anchor instantly. Now we're going to talk a little bit about a little known feature on our anchor, and that's these grousers located right here. And the thought process behind them is as the anchor's coming down the river, if you come up to a smooth rock or a log or an object, with these serrations, as the anchor comes over that, it's going to lock itself on, and these are going to bite right into the object and give you one more method of securing the anchor to the bottom of the river. And again, we're trying to get these anchors to anchor up within about 5 to 6 feet of them hitting the bottom of the river. So we're putting all of these options in our favor, or we're stacking the deck in our favor, if you will, of sending down an anchor that has all these built-in features. Another great feature of our anchor is that we offer them in a galvanized finish, which is really popular, especially with the guys in the salt water. And we also offer it in a tough coat black finish. A lot of guys like that because they can repaint the anchor if it gets a little chipped up, or they could paint it to match the color of their boat. But either way, you're getting a quality product from us. Now I'm going to spend a few moments and talk to you about how to recover your anchor, or to retrieve your anchor, if you will. And that really starts with attachment points. And we give you 2 attachment points. One is our breakaway system, and then this is the solid attachment point. And you would use this fixed point right here to attach your anchor rope to if you were in an emergency situation and didn't want the risk of having the breakaway system work when you didn't want it to. Let's say you've lost engine power and you're drifting down a river, or you're being blown across the lake or across the ocean, and you want your anchor to hold and not break away under any circumstance. So you would go ahead and attach your rope through here. And this fixed point connects you directly to the anchor and bypasses the breakaway system. I think it's just a fantastic feature to offer. Another feature that ours offers is the breakaway system. Now, the breakaway system's been around for quite a few years. There's been a lot of different variations to it. Most all of them use a zip tie to control, or that you zip tie here so you can attach your chain to, and then when you go to break it away, the zip tie breaks. Some of the nice features that we've incorporated is we put this slot here so that you get the choice on how many zip ties you get to put on here. Now remember, everything with Fish Fighter is about precision fishing or precision anchoring, and we want to give you all of the choices. So we give you the choice. You can use 1 zip tie, 2, 3, or 4. Now why would you put more zip ties on? Well, let's say you're fishing a very deep body of water and you have a lot of barge traffic, like maybe on the Columbia, where there's a lot of shock loading going on your anchor line. You may want to increase your zip ties to maybe 4. Versus if you're in shallower water and maybe you're going to hand retrieve your anchor, you may want to drop down to 1 zip tie so that it's easier to break the anchor free should it get fouled. All of these choices are yours. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the rope to the anchor here. And as I do that, I want to talk to you about how this system works. So once you're attached and your anchor's deployed, most of the times as you go to retrieve your anchor, the anchor's just going to pull up in normal fashion. But should your anchor become wedged or fouled up on something under the water, we have this breakaway system. And the way that works is as you drive past it with your boat, the breakaway system breaks. The chain's going to slide up this mechanism that we've designed here, and it has a notch in it the chain's going to lock into that cradle. And what's so unique about that is this is at the optimum angle for the chain to get the most aggressive pull on the anchor. We don't want it pulling back here or anywhere. There was a lot of thought put into this. In fact, we actually used our computers to help locate this point. Once this chain slides in there, it locks in so it won't pull out of that spot. And then as the anchor goes up, it's going to retrieve the anchor and rotate it out. If you notice, watch how fast this anchor rotates itself out of the locked position or the fouled position underwater. I'm going to do it one more time. See how fast it rotates out and it lifts itself up in the optimum angle. And I really hope this helped clarify what our breakaway system is all about. Now I'm going to go ahead and move over to our folding anchor and talk about those features. Now I get to spend a moment and talk to you about our folding anchor, and we're really proud of this because a lot of people don't like to have their anchor hanging out over the bow of the boat all the time. It can get into the way when you're trying to climb in and out of the boat. They have a nasty habit of hanging up on boat docks. And a lot of people want to store their anchor in our anchor nest that stores on the bow, or they just want to put it underneath the seat of their boat or down in the cargo hold somewhere out of the way. So we spent a lot of time really developing a really good folding anchor system to go on our Columbia River Edition anchors. And this is the result of that. So I'm going to go ahead and set the anchor up for you so you can see how easy it works. You just slide this lock collar out, slide the collar down, and you're set up and ready to go fishing. Another neat feature of this is that for some people that maybe don't want to use the folding system all the time, we have a little notch cut out here, and you can just simply take a zip tie and you can run the zip tie down through here and zip tie the lock to the chain, and now your folding anchor is now permanently a fixed anchor. The lock collar will never come off. Well, I hope you can see all of the effort and all the passion that went into designing our Columbia River Edition anchors. From our patent pending Grouser fluke design, to the locking serrations on the center of it, to the fact that you can bolt on our anchor spades onto this to really help you bite into super soft or really hard clay soils, to our innovative breakaway design that allows you to add extra zip ties and the shape of the slide collar at the bottom of the anchor, to the fact that we have an emergency attachment point that bypasses the breakaway system, to our innovative folding design so you can have a more compact anchor, to the fact that our anchors come in hot galvanized dip finish or in our tough coat black finish, to the fact that all of our anchors, for some of you it's important to know that all of our anchors are built right here in Mountain Home, Idaho. So I just truly hope you can see all of the pride and effort that went into designing these anchors. You know, for us, it isn't just fishing. To us, it isn't just anchoring. To us, it's all about the relentless pursuit of big fish. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or anyone here on the staff at Fish Fighter Products, and it's my hope to see you on the water.